friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So here we are with another bookshelf tour. So a few weeks ago I did this bookshelf, which is my sort of true ghost stories, my ghost house collection, Haunted Canada collection, and all the things. And you guys seem to really like it, and I really enjoyed doing it. So this is part two, I guess, of my Ghostie collection. We're gonna go through all of the fictional ghost stories that I have. And I'm spending some time in the library this week reorganizing some shelves and doing some cataloging and all of the things. So I figured this was a great time to get one of these done so I can get the books down off the shelves and get them cleaned and all of the things. So the first book that I wanted to show you is actually one that should have gone in the last video because it's one of those sort of like non-fictional ghost story sort of books, and it's this one. It's called Haunted, and it has a super cool kind of holographic haunted house on the front, and it says explore the unknown from Atlantis to zombies. It says it down here. You can't quite see it, but I wanted you guys to see the wonderful silver title that's on here. So I got this one for like $1 on garage sale, which is like a virtual garage sale that we have here in Canada, and it has the most wonderful illustrations. Like, look at this, just look at this. Isn't this beautiful? I can't wait. Actually, you know what, I might actually sit down with this one coming up here because this looks fantastic. I love the illustrations in here. So this is beautiful. And yeah, so this one should have gone in with the other collection, but I had already finished filming, so I figured I'd just throw it in with this one. So that's the first one I wanted to show you. And now we're going to get into some of the short story collections that I have first, and then I'll get into some of the novels. So the first collection is the Scary Stories for Sleepovers collection. This one is actually quite big. I don't have nearly as many books as I know Cameron Cheney's collection is really big with these ones, and they're getting super rare to find. So whenever I find these, I snap them up as quickly as I can. So we'll just go through these very quickly, just looking at the cover art because the titles are pretty much the same. So we have Scary Stories for Sleepovers with this kind of like werewolf on the front. Even more Scary Stories for Sleepovers with kind of a lizard sort of creature. Should have done this one first. More Scary Stories for Sleepover with this creepy dude. We have Super Scary Stories for Sleepovers with a mummy. And then more Super Scary Stories for Sleepovers with another sort of, I don't know what he would be. Would he be a werewolf or a cryptid sort of looking dude? I'm not really sure. What do you think this guy is? We have still more Scary Stories for Sleepovers with this funky looking guy. Have you guys ever actually read any of these? I haven't read any of these stories. I've had them for quite a few years. This is the same guy. Is this the same book as the other one? I actually have 2 copies of this one. The only difference is this one has a number 6 up here, and this one doesn't have anything. That's something I just realized. I didn't even realize I had a duplicate there. So I'll have to pull one out. And then this one is Mega Scary Stories for Sleepovers with a vampire, and this is number 7. And number 9 up on the top here, Scary Stories for Sleepovers with another creepy looking dude. So I'm gonna have to take a look at these. I'm wondering if some of these are duplicates, re-releases sort of thing. Like I said, I haven't read any of the stories out of these yet, but it is definitely one of the series that I would like to collect more of, but these are getting super rare. I haven't actually seen any of them out in the wild. The ones that I have are from either eBay or Etsy, so usually when I'm looking for that particular collection, that's where I need to find them. And then next up we have my Alan Zulo collection. So this one is Haunted Schools. So these are really super tiny little collections. Haven't read any of these yet, but it's all by the same author. I love the little face that they have carved in the apple here. I think it's super cute. And then so this one was Haunted Schools, and then we have haunted teachers as a nice little accompaniment. So it reminds me of the movie The Faculty, if you've ever seen that one. We have Haunted Pets, also by Alan Zulo. Have you ever seen the show? It was on, I think it used to come on Animal Planet, and it was called Haunted Pets, I believe, or just Haunted. I think it was called Haunted, and it was about how, you know, animals are really, really in tune with that kind of thing, and they were really affected by haunted houses and stuff. And then we have Haunted Kids, so we have kids and animals. Next up, sort of a sequel, I guess, we have Totally Haunted Kids by Alan Zulo. And then the last one that I have in this particular collection is Haunted Campers, which I'm wondering if I should throw this in with my summer reads, because I love doing like camping and you know, summer camp kind of reads during this time of year. This one might be an interesting one to throw in and actually get one of these read. And now getting into some of my other short story collections. These ones aren't very big. There's only one or two in each collection. We have R.L. Stine's Nightmare Hour. So I actually haven't read this one either. I bought this one, I think, on Book Outlet to throw in my collection, my R.L. Stine collection. So I'd like to get to this one sometime. I love the cover on this book. We have Ghost Stories chosen by Robert Westall, a haunting collection of supernatural tales. So this one looks really, really good. I love anything with a skeleton on the cover, and this one is one of my favorites. I have two books actually that are Victorian ghost stories. They're both from the Usborne or Usborne classics, and these do have different stories in them. I think some of them kind of overlap. They're not just different covers, but I think out of the two of them, this one has a ghostly ghoul on it, but this one has like a nighttime cemetery, which you guys know how much I love cemeteries, and the fact that it's got a cemetery on the cover of a book full of Victorian horror stories, this is absolutely fantastic. This one is one that I've had in my collection for quite some time. Unsolved, Famous Real Life Mysteries, and it's a Scholastic. I'm just going to take a look at the year of this one. 1992 for this one. So I wonder how many of the real life mysteries in here have actually been solved since 1992. That would be an interesting one to read, I think. This one has a super vintage cover. I love the cover on this book. This is 10 Tales Calculated to Give You Shudders, and I can't see an author on here. It just says it's a golden book. And on the inside, it just says Shudders. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is like a whole cast of authors that have contributed to this one. But I love the vintage vibes that this one has on the cover. It's just super, super cool. Sorry guys, just made a little adjustment to the camera there. So this one is Short and Shivery, 45 Chilling Tales, retold by Robert D. Sansuzi. And it is illustrated as well. And we do have another cemetery on here with the cemetery gates. Oh my goodness, I love this. You have a black cat and a skeleton hand coming up out of a grave. I mean, you can't get much better than this. There's bats flying around the moon. I love the cover on this one. And then to accompany it is one of my other favorite covers. This is even more Short and Shivery, 45 spine-tingling tales, and we have a skeleton guy sitting next to his candle in the library with a little kitty on his lap. And I love, oh, I didn't even notice there's a little like doily on the back of the chair, and it has skulls on it. Like, oh, this is just fantastic. There's some covers in my collection that just bring me all the feels. I love this cover. And if you're wondering, I haven't read any of these either. Next up, one of my only Bruce Coville books. I do have another one that's actually over in the pile of stuff that I've recently hauled that needs to be sorted out and put on the shelf, but haven't gotten it up there yet. So I would like to collect more of Bruce Coville's books. It's not something that I used to read as a child, but something that I definitely wanted for my vintage collection, and this one is Tales to Make You Scream. Another one that I found, I think for $1, it may have been 50 cents on Virage sale. Somebody was selling a whole ton of books. that had ghost story themes to them. And this is 13 Scary Ghost Stories. You know, just a little kid's book. And I'm sure that, oh, there's a little pumpkin there too. So I'm sure these would have some really super cute stories in them. Let me know if you guys have read this one. Any, you know, kids' books of scary ghost stories, I think they're just so, so cute. Another one with a super, super cool cover. Look at this guy. He is terrifying sitting on a shelf in a library. I wish I had a skull like this in my library. So this is More Bones. So I'm assuming this is a sequel, a Scholastic book, and it says Scary Stories from Around the World. So probably a lot of myths and legends in this one that I haven't read yet. Another one of the Usborne or Usborne classics, and it has that wonderful silver font on here. Spine Chillers, Letters from the Grave. Oh, I just, you know, I never even realized how many books that I have with cemeteries on the covers and skeleton hands coming up out of said cemeteries. So, I mean, obviously I love cemeteries and I love skeleton hands, so it fits right in with my aesthetic, hey? So next up we have my Fright Time collection, and I have to look to see how many more of these are in this collection. This is another one that's super, super rare. I have a lot of trouble finding these ones. So these are, you know, sort of short story collections as well. Also haven't read anything out of these ones. So this is 3 spine-tingling tales for young readers. They were $7.99, $9.99 Canadian when they first came out. So this one doesn't have a number on it. It just says Fright Time on the front. This one is Fright Time number 7, and for some reason I'm getting like Back to the Future Marty McFly feels from this cover, which is super crazy. But it looks like all of these have 3 tales in there. So this one is Come to the Fear, Trapped, and Time for Terror. Fright Time number 8. We have Zombie Zone, Aftershock, and This Evil Island. Oh, sorry, we're gone out of order a little bit here. That's okay. We have Fright Time number 6. And it looks like this guy's going for a little dig in the cemetery. Number 5, with these 2 guys on the front here, we have Forest of Fear, which it looks like they are in the Forest of Fear. Ghost Twin, and Something's in the Sewer. This might be one of my favorite covers in this particular collection. Fright Time number 3, we have this ghostly ghoul in the background here, absolutely terrifying the crap out of these 2 kids. Fright Time number 2, The White Phantom, Nightmare Neighbors, and Camp Fear. We have this skeleton dude down here. Looks like these guys are in a cave. So sorry about going out of order there, guys. Like I said, I'm in the midst of reorganizing my shelves. So I love this cover as well. This is Fright Time number 1, Madman on Main Street, Scary Harry, and It's Almost Dark. And I wish I had a lamp that looked like that for my library. And then the very last book that I have in my kind of short story collections that are ghosty themed is a new one that I got recently at the thrift store. This is from 1984, The Penguin Book of Horror Stories, edited by J.A. Cudden, and another cover that I absolutely love. Just look at this. Isn't that fantastic? And I love how it's all yellowed and it's like beaten up, but not too badly. It is a hardcover. It's very, very thick. It's a chunky boy. But I love this. It's library binding. It doesn't have like the dust jacket on there. And I believe I got this one for $3, and it was definitely an exciting score that I got that day at the thrift store. So that's the last one that I have in my ghosty collection that has to do with short stories. Unfortunately, the font in this collection is very, very small, so I would have to take my time reading that one. And then getting into some ghosty novels, I do have a fairly substantial Mary Downing Haunt collection, so we're going to go through these quickly. We have Deep and Dark and Dangerous, The Ghost of Crutchfield Hall, which sounds wonderfully gothic. One of my favorite covers, definitely, The Girl in the Locked Room. We have Took, which I believe revolves around a creepy doll, which is amazing. Wait Till Helen Comes, and we have another cemetery cover here, which you know I love. The Puppet's Payback and Other Chilling Tales. So this is another short story collection that revolves around puppets and dolls. One for Sorrow, which has a cold horror theme, and one that I also really, really love the cover with this ghost girl on here. All the Lovely Bad Ones, which has a super creepy cover, you know, just these kids' shoes, you know, like 80s style kids' shoes. So this is a super, super creepy one that I haven't read yet. And then kind of along the same lines of Mary Downing Hahn, I do have a couple by K.R. Alexander. We have The Collector, which has been in my collection for quite some time, Creepy Dolls. And this is a new one that I've gotten recently also at the thrift store. This is Haunt Me. And I love, like, I don't know, ghost girls on covers. So I definitely want to read this one sometime soon. I'm definitely getting into getting the urge to read lots of ghosty books coming into summer and, you know, getting into spooky season. And then this one is a little bit out of order. We have The Haunting Hour by R.L. Stine, which I haven't read either, but I do love the show The Haunting Hour. Lots of like creepy stories, so I definitely wanted to pick this one up for my collection. I have seen the entire show, so I do want to read some of these as well. And then last but not least, a little bit more of a shorter video than usual. This one I believe is the oldest book in my collection. This is The Ghost of Windy Hill, and it's one of the weekly readers. This is from 1968, and it's still in fantastic condition. I love though that it does have a couple of coffee stains on the front here, which are not from me. They were from a previous owner. So this is just, you know, a silly kids book, but I absolutely loved reading this story. Look at these two. They just don't do those kinds of illustrations anymore. And this was a really feel-good sort of story. It had all of the warm fuzzies along with being creepy as well. So I think it was last year I read this one, and I really super enjoyed it. And it has a purple cover, which you guys know that purple is my favorite color. So there you guys go. That is all of my fictional ghost stories, I would say, that goes with this particular collection. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or a comment down below because you know I love chatting with you guys. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody. Bye.